So we're continuing in Mishna Yomi. Today's assignment, today's limud is Moed Katan Perek Aleph, Mishna is Tes through Yud, 9 through 10. And Mishna Tes says as follows: Ma'amidin Tana v'kirayim v'reichayim b'Moed. You can go ahead and literally Ma'amidin literally means bonin. You could build and you could set up and you could fix an oven, a stove, or grinding stones on Chalamayid. Since all of these items are used for food preparation, and food preparation, of course, is permitted on Chalamayid, therefore, halacha l'maisa, one is permitted to actually either build these items or to set them up on Chalamayid. Rabbi Yehuda says, this is interesting. Rabbi Yehuda says, now, the Chiddush, of course, is you're permitted to go ahead and build these items or set up these items, even though, again, it requires what we call tircha yisir. It requires a lot of effort. But since it's for the sake of food preparation, therefore, it is going to be permitted. Now, interestingly enough, Rabbi Yehuda says, in mekavshin es harechayim betrila. Now here's what's interesting. In order for grinding stones to work, the upper stone, which is the one that moves, has to have a roughened surface. So apparently there was a malacha on roughening the stones. So Rabbi Yehuda says that you can't do on Chalamayid, because the act of creating a rough surface on the top movable stone was considered to be an incredible amount of tircha, an incredible amount of effort, and that Rabbi Yehuda did not allow to be done on Chalamayid. Good. That's Mishnah Tes. We now come to Mishnah Yud. Osin ma'akeh legag v'lemirpesas ma'aseh hedyot. You can make a ma'akeh. Now remember again, a ma'akeh literally means a fence. The Torah says that if you build a house, kisivna bayis v'asisa ma'akeh legagecha, you have to make a fence, or perhaps also better stated, a railing for your rooftop. Remember again, we're operating under the assumption that there is a flat roof, and because it's a flat roof, people are going to use the roof in order to ensure that chas v'shalom no one becomes harmed in the use of the roof. So the Torah obligates us to create a ma'akeh, to create a fence, or to create a railing around the roof. So the Mishnah here over says as follows: you could make a railing around the roof, or around Amir Pasas, or right, as a balcony. So again, going back to yesterday's share, the previous Mishnayos, Ma'aseh means you can make it in an unprofessional way, but you cannot make it in a professional way. Now, the Bartanura explains that we're talking about over here a rooftop that doesn't biblically require a railing or a fence. Because if we were talking about a space that does biblically require a railing or a fence, one would be permitted to do that even even as a Maisa Uman, in a real skilled fashion on Chalamayid itself. So you must be talking about over here a situation where this particular area doesn't biblically require a fence. So therefore, you could construct something on Chalamayid, but it's got to be a Maisa Hedyot, it cannot be a Maisa Uman. Shafin, es hasedokin u'magilin osam magilin b'yad b'regal, avalo b'machal tzayim. So you can go ahead and similarly, now shafin es hasedokin means that let's say you have a roof, and you have cracks in the roof of your house. So you are permitted to go ahead and smooth plaster over the cracks of the roof of the house. Uma'agilin oso b'ma'agila. And you can go ahead and smooth it out with your hand or with your foot and make it as smooth as if it would have been smoothed out with a roller. So remember again, smoothing it out with a roller would probably be called tircha yisera. But you could go ahead and smooth it out with your hand or with your foot, even though the net effect will be the same as if you had done it with a roller. Avalo b'machal tzayim. But you can't go ahead and smooth it out with an actual smoother, right? With a kli that's actually used for smoothing. Hatzir, v'hatzinor, v'hakora, v'hamanal, v'matech shnishtabru. So these are all different parts of the door. Pivot, socket, beam, lock, or key of the door broke. What's the halacha? Mitaknin b'moed. You could fix this on Chalamayid. Why did you fix it on Chalamayid? Because remember again, if your door to your home doesn't work, then there is a danger of thieves, there's a danger of robbers, and therefore again, this is a davar ha'avud. This could represent a significant loss, and therefore halacha l'maisa, one is permitted to go ahead and repair these broken items, even in a way that is maisa uman, even in a professional fashion. However, if you know the door is broken before Yom Tiv, you can't leave it to Chalamayid to do it. In other words, the license to do it is when something happened over the course of Chalamayid. But if the item was already broken beforehand, then Halacha Lamaisa, and one purposely left it until Chalamayid, then one would not be permitted to do so. We'll see that theme come up a number of times in future Mishnayos. V'chol kibashin shehu yachol lechol mehen b'moed kovshan. And anything that if you pickle, you could eat it over Chalamayid, so you're permitted to go ahead and pickle it over a Chalamayid. The Bartanura says, kivashin kigo dagim v'yirakos, anything, fish or vegetables that you're going to put in a brine solution. So anything that you could pickle and it's going to be ready for consumption on Chalamayid, you're permitted to pickle it on Chalamayid. What we infer from that is, if you are pickling something but it's not going to be ready until after Chalamayid, or after Yom Tiv, under those circumstances, one would not be permitted to pickle it, because then you'd effectively be doing malacha over the course of Chalamayid for non-Yom Tiv use. Excellent. We'll say Mazel Tov on completing the first parak of Meseches Moed Katan, and in Me'eretz Hashem look forward to beginning parak Beis in Me'eretz Hashem tomorrow. Wishing everyone a wonderful day.